Hello.
Hey, remind me, is this podcast deep opinions on shallow topics or shallow opinions on deep topics?
It's everything. It's Deeply Shallow with Matt and Tara. Whether you feel deep, shallow, or just plain petty,
take a ride through life with us. Matt and Tara, as we chronicle it all.
Tell me the whole story, start from the beginning. What were you wearing?
Whether we are tackling aging, friendships, our spouses,
Hubba and Banana are the two luckiest people on earth.
or any other of life's fun, we have different takes, but one goal. Get ready to laugh, shake your head, and wonder where our mothers went wrong.
I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I am still terrified of my mother.
Get in and hold on.
It's Deeply Shallow with Matt and Tara, and listener discretion definitely advised. What is up, Shallow Squad? Welcome to Deeply Shallow with Matt and Tara. I am your host, Tara, along always with my co-host, he bruises like a peach, Mr. Matt Hanley.
That is not untrue. That is not untrue. How are you?
I'm good. I love when you always tell me, I've got your back, but please don't get in too aggressive of a fight because I bruise like a peach.
Yes. And I stole that line from one of my dear friends, but it is absolutely the truth. Like, I am there, I've got your back, but I'm really not going to be much use in a street fight.
Right. Okay. So call someone else.
Yeah. This is more along the West Side Story.
Like, if I need someone to do a pirouette, snap to the battle, you're there for me. But if I need someone to throw down,
I'm more into it for like a battle of wits.
Okay.
Or could we potentially use our humor to get ourselves out of whatever situation we're in? That's really more of where you're going to need me than in an actual physical altercation.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I ever get in a humor battle,
yes,
I'll know who to call.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Well, Tara, as always, we like to start our show off with, our mental health awareness and our mental health number. But I actually want to give you a little bit of a twist today.
Okay.
In addition, because we have, at the beginning of each episode, we've done our score 0 to 10.
Right.
And we'll do that again today. But today, I think it would be helpful for the Shallow Squad if we kind of take it one step further and let's let folks know what impacts the number.
Okay.
What makes it go up or down? What are some of the things? So along those lines, where are you at today?
I am a little bit lower today. I'm probably 6-ish.
Yeah.
And
that is low for you.
Yeah. Usually I run 8 to 10.
Right.
So to be at a 6, I'm a little bit lower. I'm an anxious person. Anxiety is going to be the number one factor that goes into my mental health score. This week coming up is my last week that Hubba is gone. So it's almost like, I've never run a marathon. I don't plan on running a marathon.
Yes.
But I would assume that the last mile is difficult. Again, don't know why I think that, but it's like once you're almost to the end, it's like when you're on a long car drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That last 100 miles, you're like, oh my gosh,
we're never going to get there.
Are we going to be there?
Absolutely.
And so I don't know why, but for whatever reason, facing this week, knowing he's about to come home and just wanting to get there so bad has my anxiety all the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah.
What
about you? How are you feeling?
So, it's really interesting because, and you've brought this up on other episodes, had you asked me an hour ago or 2 days ago, and I think this is one of the really crazy parts about mental health awareness is it's all over the board.
Right.
So if you'd asked me yesterday, I would have told you, I'm at a 10. If you'd have asked me, 2 days ago, I might have been in a 4.
Right.
Right now, I'm probably a really solid 7.5. But we are both very anxious people.
We are. And we like to wrap that up in like this funny place of being psychopaths, which is also true.
Yes. Agreed.
But it is nice to be aware of how we're feeling and to kind of embrace it, really.
We are surrounded in both of our friend circles, in our families, we're surrounded by crazy people.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Mm-hmm. And we're not even the most neurotic people we know.
Right. Which is really saying something. Also, he's talking about you, Banana. Just so you know. He's talking about you.
But that's the crazy part, is that it can vary so much. And so we thought we would take this opportunity today because we are 2 days from Halloween.
So weird.
So strange. October almost gone. And also, I had to stop and think about it. The decade is almost gone. Like we're nearing the end of this decade.
Wow.
So in light of that being 2 days from Halloween, we really thought, what is more Halloween than the concept of fear?
Yeah. Constantly being afraid.
Constantly being
worried.
afraid.
Don't threaten us with a good time.
That's right. That's right. So our title today for today's episode is Dia de Los Scaredy Cats.
I am so proud of you for saying that right the first time. I cannot believe you managed
I've been
that.
practicing this for hours. Don't. I've been practicing this for hours.
It's literally written down in front of me.
Yes, it's on a giant
I'm still
card.
super impressed. The thing about Halloween is it centers around fear, right?
Oh, yes.
And so for someone who's just like constantly anxious, worrying about things,
Yes.
I don't know if like I'm supposed to be happy, like, oh, hey, everyone is scared today.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like, this is my nightmare. Everybody around me is trying to make me even more afraid than I already am.
Yes, and understand, this is a holiday that is the second most commercialized holiday to Christmas.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And there are more Halloween parties, and we're party people.
Yeah, we are party people. We like to have a good time.
Any excuse to get people together
Yes.
and have a good time, we're all about it.
Right.
Except on Halloween.
Yeah.
When we become Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
We are not celebrating.
We do not
this holiday.
celebrate. Yes.
I celebrate Columbus Day harder than I celebrate Halloween. Like I am not. I like this is a no-go for me.
Which I know some of you are thinking, what is wrong with them? But y'all, we are both scaredy cats, and I mean that
Crazy
in
scaredy
the
cat.
most literal way. As we talked about when the show started, you get in a street fight. Matt Henley is not coming to your rescue.
No.
Like he is running, he's hiding, which honestly I respect.
Yeah.
But also, we cannot even watch scary movies.
Right.
Have you seen any cult classic scary movie? Like, I mean,
Give me an example.
Exorcist,
No.
It.
No.
Me neither. The Ring.
No.
No, never.
Saw. No. None of
Saw, yeah. I have seen previews to these movies that have given me nightmares.
Yeah. I also don't like gory movies. This is where we are different, because you like a movie that if it has some gore in it, you're okay with that.
The gore doesn't bother me as long as it's like from war or,
Okay. And, and speaking of that, I have a parenting fail real quick. From thanks to you.
Oh, yay.
So Tara has been busting my balls to watch the show Turn.
Washington Spies.
Yes, on Netflix. I mean, she has been
so
busting
good,
me
you
up.
guys.
She has been busting us up to watch it. So finally, the banana and I are like, okay, we'll watch it. So normally on Sunday evenings we order food in, and so the kids are on the couch.
Montage.
Yeah, so the kids are on the couch, and so we were going to start Turn, and I was like, it's a document, or not a documentary, but it's a mini series about the Revolutionary War. It's like, okay, this is cool. So anyway, so we start the movie, and
yes, because wars usually have nothing gory about them.
So what Tara doesn't tell me, which I should have known because she likes a good gory movie that's not scary. So we now have dinner, on the couch, and everybody's eating their food, including the two children. And the opening scene of this Turn, not to ruin it for those who haven't seen it yet, is a man walking through a battlefield that they have won, stabbing his bayonet into every person to make sure they're dead as we're trying to eat our Olive Garden to go. And the banana looks at me and just shrugs like, what do we do now? And so finally the youngest is like, I don't think we should be watching this while we eat. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So we changed it to Family Feud. But anyway, so that was
from Turn to Family Feud. Oh my gosh. You know what else that reminds me of, speaking of things about death, is when Matt and the banana first got married and I met the children.
Yes.
We all went to lunch together one day.
Gosh.
Matt wasn't there. And I was like, hey guys, like, how's it going? I'm sitting across from them.
This was not the first time you had met them.
No. It wasn't the first time. Like, I had known them for a while, but I was still trying to be the cool friend and,
Yes.
hang out with them. So I'm sitting with them and we're chatting and
This is so
I'm like, how's it going, you guys? And the oldest looks at me, he's like, our dog died. And the only dogs I know of are the 2 dogs that live at Matt and Banana's house. And I looked at Banana real quick and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't you tell me Zuzu or Gertie died? She's like, no, it wasn't them. And so I looked back at the boys kind of confused and they were like, the dog at our mom's house. And I was like, oh, and I was just so relieved it wasn't Zuzu or Gertie at that moment that I was like, oh, I don't care about those dogs. And then like I caught myself in the act of saying it and I just like stared at them and I was like, oh, but I'm really sorry.
Yes.
So fast forward a few months, Matt gets a phone call saying, the boys told me that Banana's friend said that she was happy that their dog died. I was like, well, first of all, I didn't say that. But I mean,
that
and you guys, he knew exactly who she was talking about, like right away. He's texting me, did you tell my kids that you were happy their dog died?
Yes, still on the phone texting me like, what did you say?
Did you tell the boys that you were happy about this?
But that was kind of a rough lunch. Was that not also the lunch where the banana was...
Oh, yeah. She was like the bread
Nazi.
Yeah. So we're at Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
They have the best bread.
They do.
And the boys and I are trying to get our carbs on. And for whatever reason, the woman who eats nothing but chicken fingers decides she's going to rule over the bread.
Rule over the bread.
She's like,
too much bread.
She's like rationing it out to them.
No bread for you.
Yeah. As if we're in a bread shortage. I was like, woman, give them the bread.
Calm down.
Like, I need to get back in their good graces. I just told them I don't care about their dead dog. So the moral of the story is we can't watch scary movies. We're afraid of them. So we sure as hell are not going to be out and about at nighttime when there's a bunch of psychopaths who like this kind of stuff dressed up as these people on the streets.
And some people enjoy this way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who really, really get into this.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, I just don't want to walk around feeling like I'm on the set of, The Purge or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
no, thank you.
I'm out.
Yeah, no.
I'm out. So what do you think the number one Halloween costumes are for this year? What do you think they're going to be? One should be pretty obvious.
Wonder Woman?
Well, I think that is going to be one of, but according to Google, which knows everything,
right?
Pennywise.
Ugh.
Which is the scary clown from It, right?
Right.
Okay.
The only reason I know that name is because one of the little girls on my cheer squad, she's 8 years old, wanted to dress up as Pennywise for Halloween.
Surely she hasn't seen the movie, has she?
No, she hadn't even seen the movie. She just
knows who it is.
Oh, I want to be a scary clown. And her mom was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And that's the only reason I know the name of that horrible invention.
And let me back up just a second. Potentially, I could have been a fan of Halloween.
Okay.
Potentially. But I lived way out in the country growing up.
Oh, that's where everyone gets murdered.
So, yes, that. And we didn't trick or treat because it wasn't a neighborhood. We lived out in the country, and so there weren't like houses around you. So you didn't trick or treat. And there was none of this stuff you do at the church or, trunk or treat or, those stuff at the mall. None of that existed. So I never really like 4 years in a row, I dressed up like as a rodeo clown.
What?
And it wasn't a scary clown. It was a sad clown.
It was sad because you were dressed up as a rodeo clown.
Yes.
That's going to be sad regardless.
Yes. And I'll post a very embarrassing photo on Facebook of this rodeo clown.
If nothing else comes out of this podcast, getting to see some of these photographs and everything.
And here's the thing is, because of my age, I avoided all of these embarrassing photos being posted originally to Facebook or Instagram. So now, like an idiot, I'm actually
voluntarily
putting them out there. And so it's like, I'm just glutting for my own punishment.
Oh, yeah. And you know what scares me the most about scary movies?
What?
Is not even the movie itself. It's that some sicko
Yeah.
thought those things up in their brain. And they're just walking around the world, waiting.
Like a Stephen King.
Yeah. They're just waiting.
Yeah.
To murder me.
Now, can you read scary books? Because you're a big reader.
Yes,
I mean, a big reader.
I am a big reader.
Can you read scary books?
I cannot touch horror in any genre.
Okay.
Even like mystery books, which I do enjoy, I have to take breaks. Like when it's getting too intense or too scary, I have to like put it down and, remember that I'm in my house. Or if, Hubba's out of town, no, I can't.
Me either.
No, it's too scary.
Well, there was a time when you could even stay at home by yourself.
Yeah, not
as an adult,
not as ago that whenever Hubba would be gone, I would make the banana come sleep on my couch because I could not be in my own home as a grown
with a locked door
and an alarm system alone.
Couldn't do it.
Becoming a mother has, for whatever reason, helped that situation. Maybe because I'm like, okay, if a robber breaks in, maybe I can distract them with this baby over here and I can run for the hills, save myself. Be like, they start crying really loud. Distract them.
Have you ever seen those memes where it's like, if I encounter a bear, I don't have to be able to outrun the bear. I just have to be able to outrun you.
Yeah, just one person. Yeah, that's me.
I just can't be the slowest person.
Exactly. Be like, sorry, B, should have been older later. Yeah, no, I'm out.
Okay, so while on the whole, I hate to say it, but we're Halloween haters.
Yeah.
So on the whole.
Sorry, y'all.
But there are some bright spots that we do enjoy.
Yes.
And number one is the candy.
Yes. Any excuse to eat, I'm there for it.
You're down. Yeah. So, and the best part too about being a parent is when you do send the kids out trick-or-treating, you can have the
still their candy.
Yes. The dad tax or the mom tax or whatever of, culling out some of the candy. My mother also, she lived in the house I grew up in that has no neighbors or very few neighbors for, 40 years, whatever. So about 7 or 8 years ago, she moved to the same town and she bought a house in town.
Right.
So she had never experienced trick-or-treaters before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this woman moved here when she was 65 years old and had never experienced trick-or-treaters. She was not prepared for the mass of kids that would come to trick-or-treat. And I had warned her about it.
She had a little 12-pack of Snicker
so
bars.
She probably had 300 or 400 trick-or-treaters the first year.
Wow.
So mom decides that she is going to give out something different for Halloween.
Never a good idea.
Never a good idea. She's done it 2 years in a row.
Uh-oh.
First year, she handed out toothbrushes.
Oh, Lord.
She handed out toothbrushes. The fact that her house did not get egged is beyond comprehension.
It's incredible.
The only thing
you should have egged her house for that.
The only thing that is her saving grace is that there are so many houses in this neighborhood that I'm sure the kids just didn't even whatever, old lady.
Right.
Second year. So the toothbrushes I thought were bad. Thought that was a bad plan. And I refused to help her hand them out. Like, Mom, I'm not.
Yeah, no. You don't need to put that target on your back.
The second year, she hands out coloring sheets with 2 crayons like she's giving you a kid's menu at Red Lobster. So she's handing out these coloring sheets. And I was there and I was just, I just was shaking my head as she was just like so enthusiastically handing these kids. These kids are looking at her like, what the hell, old lady? Like, this is Halloween. We get
that one kid got like the brown and white crayon,
yes.
And he was like, "Really?
This sucks."
Yeah. Like, and all the parents say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the second thing I do enjoy about Halloween is I do enjoy the cute kids.
Oh yeah.
So I saw one the other day where there was a kid and he had on mouse ears. And he's riding in one of those radio flyer pull wagons,
right. Mm-hmm.
And somebody had made what appeared to be a mouse trap. So it was like sitting over him.
Cute. That's
cute. It was so good. I was like, okay, I can appreciate a really strong. But I mean, what's the age at which it's like,
I think
9,
when they can
10?
drive there themselves. See, I don't know. I'm more liberal on giving kids candy.
Yeah,
and here's why. My mom also has some stories from Halloween. This lady, she buys the good candy.
Okay.
There's no generic brand candy getting handed out.
So we're talking
on
like
her
Three Musketeers, Snickers, Reese's,
Butterfinger, Reese's Cups.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the real deal.
The good stuff.
She'll throw in some Starburst, Skittles for the kids who don't like chocolate so much. I mean, she's got the good shit.
None of the bullshit candy corn or sweet tarts or...
Okay, whoa. Triggered. Sweet tarts is like one of my favorite candies.
Really?
Yes, they're so good.
I did not know. The ones that come in the little wrapper you in.
Mm-hmm. I love sweet tarts.
Did not know that.
I'm not allowed to eat them because Hubba has that. It has a name. I can't think of it right now, but he cannot stand listening to people crunch food. And so whenever I have a sweet tart, he's like, you need to suck the sweet tart, not crunch it. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here for 12 hours why this dissolves into my mouth.
I told you we're surrounded by crazy people.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess he can't go to a movie theater. Like that bothers him.
Yeah, he can. He always tells people I'm the loudest drinker in the world. No, I'm not. I'm just drinking like a normal person. You just live in my house, so you hear me drinking. You know, in fact, I'm going to take a drink on this podcast so y'all can hear that I'm not a loud drinker. Where's my drink?
It is behind you.
All right, here we go.
Please be careful.
Everybody ready?
She has taken a drink and there was no sound.
There was nothing there.
Hubba.
He's going to text me from Phoenix in about 5 minutes. Be like, did you just take a drink? I can hear it from here. Yeah. Y'all, he's like obsessed with how loud of a drinker I am.
So he could never be around like someone who chews ice. That would just like.
I love Sonic ice. Like
Yes.
I used to go just get a cup of ice.
Yeah.
But
He
he
can't
was
do
like, I am not marrying you if you continue this type of behavior. I'm like, damn.
It seems very excessive.
He is so aggressive about it.
Wow. I've learned a lot already.
Yeah.
I thought I knew a lot about you, but.
Yeah, no. But anyway, so she will give out the best candy.
Okay. And is she a snack size?
Yeah, she's a snack size.
Snack
And
size.
I want to touch on that here in just a second.
Okay.
But if you roll up to her house
Yes.
as a teenager
Uh-oh.
and you don't have a costume on, not only are you not getting candy, you're getting a talking to.
Okay, now this does not surprise me one bit.
If
I would expect and be disappointed if I did not hear
Right.
you that this is how she would react to somebody showing up at their house trying to get candy with no costume.
Right. So I actually posted a warning on my Facebook a few years ago and been like, beware the house on, and then like I put their street that they used to live on, whenever it was. But
That is so funny.
so also if you roll up to her house
Okay.
and you have a Abercrombie and Fitch bag or anything that has like a nude person on it, you ain't getting no candy either. And you're also getting a talking to, and yeah,
So
she's not
when
about
you say, okay, wait, a bag.
okay, so
a
like the
nude bag?
shopping bags.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of them have like shirtless models on them, like from Abercrombie and Fitch. This is the example.
like
that's in
like
my
an
head.
advertisement,
Right.
like it's like a store bag.
Yes. Okay, so this kid rolls up to her house with one of these
One of these
bags
bags.
with like a half naked person on it.
Okay.
She was like, I'm not putting candy in there. Did not give them candy.
This is not surprising to me at all, though. I can see your mom being a bit of a stickler for the Halloween traditions.
Yes.
Like
yes.
either participate or don't participate,
Right.
but don't expect me to bend the rules for you
Exactly.
with your no costume.
With your no costume and your
with your no attempt, your laziness,
Yes.
your Halloween laziness will not be tolerated.
We talked about that. Our
Yes.
moms are not here to give undue credit.
They are not. They are not.
Mm-mm.
My
So
mom
if you want the good candy, you go see Mama Kay. But you
Yeah.
better have a costume.
better have a costume on.
Mhm.
See, the kids are 9 and 12. They're kind of out on for whatever reason, they're kind of out on dressing up. They would much rather go to my mom's house and hand out candy.
Okay.
They're much more about that.
I was going to ask you if they were going to dress up.
Yeah, they really aren't. So but they're much more about going to her house because, like I said, there's so many trick or treaters and stuff, and they enjoy that infinitely more.
That's cool. So, what is your opinion on people who hand out full size candy bars?
I think it's completely ballin'.
You do? Okay.
Yes. If you want to hand out full size candy bars,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about in my mom's neighborhood, that would probably cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of probably $500-600.
I have a very controversial opinion about this.
You do?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I think it is such a try hard move
Oh,
to hand out full size candy bars. It's
Hmm.
like, look at me, everyone, with my full size candy bars. It's very, I don't know.
It's like one-uppy.
It's like little dick syndrome to me.
Ooh.
That's how I genuinely feel about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see that.
I'm more
I can see it,
impressed when you buy the good candy.
yeah. Yes.
No generic brands. I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
But the full size candy bars, it's like, come on. Like you're trying to be the star of the show on Halloween. Come
Okay.
on.
I can see that.
I'm
I
not
can see
about that.
Yeah. Plus, it's hard to get a full.
Sorry.
Plus, it's hard to get a full size candy bar in the little Halloween buckets.
Yeah.
They got the.
It's just, I don't know. I just think it's stupid.
Well, you are entitled to your opinion.
That's right.
That's the
This
best
is
part.
my podcast. I can say whatever I want.
Okay, so obviously, B is still dressing up,
Yes.
and because she's forced to,
Right.
because you really decide.
It's cute.
Yes. So, what is B going to be for Halloween this year?
So
Wait, what was she last year?
she was Princess Poppy from Trolls last year.
Okay, and this kid is all about trolls.
Oh, yeah. She loves them.
She loves trolls and the Grinch.
She identifies so well with them. Yeah. Trolls and the Grinch are her besties.
Yes. Okay, so then this year she's going to go as
She's going to go as Bam Bam from the Flintstones.
from the Flintstones. Yes.
Her friend is going to dress up as Pebbles,
Perfect.
and B's going to be Bam Bam for obvious reasons.
Now, is the one who is going to be Pebbles, is this her second choice after Pennywise?
Yes.
This is the same kid.
Yeah, we had to be like, okay, you cannot be Pennywise, but how about Pebbles? She was like, okay, whatever. She was cool with it.
Okay.
So B is going to be Bam Bam. She's going to look super cute.
I'm sure. Yes. You already have the costume.
Already have the costume.
Now, what will her Halloween entail? Like, are you going to take her trick or treating?
Yeah. So we always go to Pottsboro for.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I always love to joke that Pottsboro is like a cult town. They think it's like Beverly Hills. Like, y'all need to calm down. So it's the perfect place.
There are some very nice parts of Pottsboro.
I'm not saying because it's not nice. Yeah. I'm saying it's because everyone who lives there is obsessed with Pottsboro.
Okay. Gotcha.
But anyway, so because I always like to joke that it's a culty town and that's where my godchildren live, we always go up there for Halloween. And we always have the best time.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
So obviously we talked earlier, Pennywise is going to be arguably the number one costume this year.
Right.
Probably, if I had to guess, Joker is going to be like the number one male costume would be my guess, because the movie just came out not too long ago. Do you have some favorite costumes that you have pulled off in your day?
Two come to mind.
Yeah.
And they're kind of funny because they were both at totally different periods of my life.
Phases in your life.
Phases of my life.
Yeah.
So when Hubba and I were in college, his nickname in his fraternity was Big Cat. And then so just by association, everyone started calling me Mama Cat.
Okay.
So one year for Halloween, we decided to dress up as Big Cat and Mama Cat. So Hubba's idea of dressing up. Also, we were like, as poor as we were when we got married, we were much more poor in college.
In college, yeah.
So he wore a pair of like cut off jean shorts.
Okay.
No shirt. This plastic, probably $2 lion mask that he got from some Halloween store. And then like an 80s band rocker blonde wig that was like his mane, and I'm using air quotes like in his mane. And what's so funny is at the time I was like mouth on the floor, drooling. Like I was just like, it does not get better than this. And now when I look back on the pictures, I'm like, God, like B, if you ever see a grown man dressed like this, run away from him.
If Hubba showed up today wearing that outfit, you would literally shoot him the finger and like walk out of the room.
I feel like what is wrong with you?
What is wrong?
And it's so funny because now he dresses like a 70-year-old man. It's, he does not own a pair of jeans. Did you know that about him?
Yes, actually, I had noticed that about him.
He doesn't own a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
He wears slacks every day.
Yeah.
Some kind of button-up shirt. When it's chilly, he's going to put on a vest.
A vest, yeah.
I mean, he is a grandpa in the closet. So to think back about the time when he's wearing this Big Cat outfit is so funny. But so...
What were you wearing?
He's my boyfriend and I want to look cute. So I'm wearing like a short skirt and some heels and this like little top. And I have some ears on, because that's what girls do at Halloween. We're like, oh, let's wear the smallest outfit we have, but let's wear some ears because then it's legit.
Yeah.
And
it's legitimate.
Yeah. And then for whatever reason, I was like, oh, I also need a tail. Like, no, I didn't. It fell off before I even got in the party.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it's kind of funny to look back on how we used to dress.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my favorite memories with him at Halloween. And then a couple of years ago, right after I had B, we were invited to a Halloween party and we were just looking at each other up until like 3 hours before the party. And we're like, what are we going to dress up as? And we both ended up wearing like black sweaters, black jeans. And then we really quick threw some Cards Against Humanity costume together.
Okay. First of all, she is way underselling this costume. This costume was funny.
It was funny.
It was very funny.
It was funny. But it's just such a stark contrast between how we used to dress up for Halloween and now. But so our Cards Against Humanity, obviously I had just had B.
Yeah.
And so his card said, I got 99 problems, but blank ain't one. And mine said lactation. So it was
so funny.
It was very fitting.
Yes. It's so funny.
But yeah.
That's good.
What about you? Do you have any costumes that are near and dear to your heart?
No, like I said, the sad rodeo clown is a and then there was a couple of years that I went as a cowboy. I mean, like it's just so bad. Now in college, a buddy of mine and I've actually put a call out to several friends to try to find this picture, and we have been unable to procure it yet. But we dressed up as two sorority girls. And it was so funny. I mean, everybody loved it. But
the best part of you dressing up like the sorority girls, Matt and I went to the same college,
Correct.
obviously at different times, but
Yeah.
the sorority that he dressed up as is the sorority that all of my best
your
friends are
yeah.
in.
Yes.
So I
and
really
all of my
hope-
friends when I was there were also, we're also in that.
Also alphas.
Also alphas.
So I cannot wait to get my hands on these
Yeah.
pictures.
It was something. So along the Halloween lines,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe in ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts.
You do?
Or spirits.
Okay.
Yes. And I never want to see one. I have never had any kind of experience like that. That's how I want to keep it. Universe, if you're listening, that's how I want to keep it.
So you've never gone on like a ghost tour or a...
Hell no. I cannot believe people pay money to go get scared.
Yeah.
No.
Again, we have plenty of things to be scared about and anxious about the other 360
exactly.
plus days a year.
Yeah. But no, I do believe in them. I really, really don't ever want to encounter one.
Yeah, I'm
it scares me.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer that if you put yourself in those kind of situations, like if you go to haunted places or if you play with a Ouija board or something, like they will find you.
Okay,
Scary things are going to happen to you.
That's what my sister says too. She's like, I don't mess with that because I don't want to like open that Pandora's box.
Yes.
Which then she says she doesn't believe in ghosts, but then she says, but I don't want to like actually figure out if that's legit, but I don't want to, be a part of that
Right.
anyway.
I do believe in them,
Yeah.
but I do not want to explore that. Yeah. I'm a scaredy cat. See title of podcast.
See title of podcast.
Yeah. What about you?
So I do think I probably believe in ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard enough weird stories and whatever. I mean, there is something out there.
Right.
But let me tell you the craziest story that I was blown away. So in preparation of the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I've been asking people if they believe in ghosts.
Okay.
So, and as
I should have been doing that. That was good. Good
as
job, you.
As the preparation meets opportunity equals luck or whatever. Anyway, so Shadow Squad knows that my mom works with me. My sister works with me. Well, a lot of times we go to lunch together. We go to lunch the other day. I posed the question, do you believe in ghosts? My sister says, what I just, said, no, I really don't, but I also don't believe I want to try it and, end up this Pandora's box, whatever. So my mom's over there eating her lunch.
Suspiciously quiet.
Her strawberry pecan chicken salad, whatever she had. And she
So you took them to Wendy's? That
No.
was your idea of lunch?
No, went to Cheddar's.
Oh, okay. I was like, some boss you are.
So mom thinks about it for a second. She says, no, I really don't believe in ghosts. And then she says, but when I was a little kid, her grandmother, be my great grandmother, she said, we used to go over to Aunt Georgie's house when I was with my great grandmother. And she and another sister would get together on Thursdays. And she said they had a little table in one of the rooms. And my mom goes on to tell me that their father was killed in an accident with a runaway team of horses and a plow.
Ew.
So he died like very tragically.
Yeah.
And also one of them had a daughter that had died young. So mom's still, eating her salad. She says, so they had this board and like they had a little thing on it or whatever. And like they would, they get together on Thursdays and they would talk to him and her.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
A little board?
A little board
as
as
it
it,
know what this is?
I was like, Mom, a Ouija board? And she was like, yeah. I was like, and my sister was, our mouths are wide open. And my mom's just as casual as she could possibly be, just steady telling us the story about every Thursday. They would light the candles. I'm like, so you're saying it was a seance?
So
yeah.
So your mom
was there.
So her mom took her.
Her grandmother.
Her grandmother took her to a seance every Thursday.
Every Thursday with so this would be my great aunt, two of my great aunts and my great grandmother. And they would do this every Thursday and talk to their deceased father and this deceased daughter of one of them. And I was like, how have I never heard this story before?
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
My mom's just casually and my sister's over there we're just aghast. Like, and she still was like, yeah.
Right.
No big deal.
Every time I start to feel like a subpar parent, I'm going to think about this story.
Yes.
I'd be like, well, not taking her to a seance on Thursday. Doing pretty good for myself.
Doing pretty well.
You're welcome. You're welcome, B.
Succeeding this week.
Yes, exactly. Wow, that is crazy.
It is crazy.
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
If Banana kicks the bucket, are you going to pull out a Ouija board to ask her where something is that you are unable to find?
Where is my green button-up shirt?
Are we out of toothpaste? I need to know.
Okay, so funny you say that. I saw a meme the other day that was like, when I die, my kid is going to be standing over my casket. Hey, can I play on your phone? Hey, it's me. Can I play on your phone?
You know what that reminds me of? My dad always says, my dad is a workaholic.
Yes.
Very accomplished.
Yes.
He's one of the most well-loved people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. But he works and then he works some more.
Right. Yes.
And he always jokes that when he dies, he wants to be buried with his cell phone. And my mom is always just like, okay, whatever. I told my dad, Mom is so cheap. Your cell phone is going to be turned off far before your funeral. Like,
That is funny.
If he could call from the dead, she'd be like, how much is this costing me a minute?
Right.
Like, she's not.
You better not call collect.
Yeah. Oh,
from the other side.
Do not call collect, buddy. She'll bring you back to life to kill you again.
You never had to call collect, right?
No.
So I did.
That's for the old people.
Yes, so I did. And so I
But I do really like the idea of someone answering the phone and you could say whatever name that you want.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But what was great is like, and I don't know how the phone company never like figured this out, but like people would call collect and say you were at the pool,
right.
And you were ready to go or whatever. So you would call collect or, whatever it was. And you could just like tell them what information you needed because you had.
I'm ready, pick me up at the pool. You have a collect call from. I'm ready, pick me up at the pool.
So you're like, do you accept the charges? Nope. Click. That was
never heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but would you Ouija board to contact the banana again?
Oh. You know how much I love this woman.
Yeah.
And it would I would be devastated without her.
Oh my gosh. Just answer the question. This is not a love letter to banana. Get with the program.
Oh, Tara, I want to say no so bad that I wouldn't do it. But honestly, I probably would.
You would?
I think I probably would to try to talk to her.
I know for a fact Hubba would not Ouija board for me, but it's because I would be haunting his ass for eternity. He wouldn't need a Ouija board.
No,
he would just be like, open the refrigerator. Like, babe, where's the mayonnaise? Like, God, it's in front of your face.
Literally, y'all would be like the scene from Ghost, with Whoopi Goldberg, and then like you're just like following him around like all the time.
Be like, who's this bitch? I've been dead for 5 minutes. Yeah, no. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even decayed in my grave yet. You're out here buying drinks? I don't think so, buddy. Walk it back home.
But so if something were to happen to Hubba, would you try to talk to him on a Ouija board?
I do not think I could ever use a Ouija board. I'm super scared of them, but I would definitely like Long Island Medium.
Okay.
Sure.
That show is crazy.
It is.
What is
She's
his
legit.
But then what's the other one? There's a young
a boy,
young
Tyler
guy.
Henry.
Tyler.
Yes.
Man, like I don't know. I don't know I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between doing that and a Ouija board? What's the difference?
I don't know. The Ouija board just scares me.
But isn't it, is it the same thing you're trying to communicate?
Yeah. With the other side.
Because I was asking Mom, I was like, did you hear other voices? I'm really like pressing Mom now. Of course, and she's 71. This is,
her youth.
65 years ago. And she said, honestly, I do not remember. And I was like, how do you not remember? And she says, well,
Anne, start from the beginning. Yeah. Tell me the whole story. What were you wearing?
But she was just like, she couldn't remember. But so I don't think I quite understand the difference between like what you're trying to do with a medium and a Ouija board.
Do you think the banana would Ouija board you?
Yeah.
I think she would.
I think she would.
She totally would.
Yeah.
It would be every day, not even every Thursday. She'd be like up on that board.
Have you ever gone to like a psychic or a palm reading? Didn't y'all do that one time? Did you do it with the banana?
We did. I don't think that was a real one though. I think it was just part of this show that we went to.
Oh, okay.
But I went and had my tarot cards read one time when I was in college. I don't know.
Was it?
She said some things that I was kind of like, okay. And then my $20 was up and I was like, okay, bye. Like I wasn't sticking around to get details or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was all right.
So to add just a little bit more to that. So do you ever listen to the Howard Stern show?
No.
Okay. Well, so I was a long time listener and then kind of fell off. But Sal is one of the characters on his show. He's been on a long time. Well, the other day they were looking at lottery numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lottery had gotten real big, and so they were checking lottery tickets, whatever. Sal said that his dad every night went to bed with a pencil and a notepad beside his bed because he was like expecting his father or his grandfather to wake him up in the middle of the night and give him the lottery numbers. So then Sal's dad tells him after his, somebody's like, make sure every night you go to bed with a pencil and a pad in case you wake up in the middle of the night and they give you the numbers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But neither one of them have won the lottery?
They haven't.
That's a disappointment.
It is a disappointment. Yeah. So
speaking of shows I do listen to that are kind of spooky.
Yes.
I'm listening to this podcast right now called My Funeral Home Stories.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you would like it because it is a little gory.
Yes. I've listened to a little bit of a couple of them. Yes.
But I
love the premise.
Yes. I find we have already established that I'm a nosy person.
Yeah.
So half of my fascination is just I want to hear other people's stories.
Right.
But the stuff that this guy has experienced,
yes,
that's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever work in a funeral home.
You have to have a special personality to be a mortician or a funeral home director. You have to have a special personality.
Yes.
And I know one of these people, and it's my mother-in-law.
Big Deb?
Big Deb could be a funeral home director, no problem. She loves it.
What?
She loves it. So I get a story so they were in a smaller town all through the bananas childhood. Somewhat like my Ouija board story with my mom,
mm-hmm.
She and her sister are having dinner or somehow in a conversation with Big Deb. And she tells them that she has effectively a key to the funeral home in this town they grew up in.
What?
Yes. So Big Deb would peruse the obituaries. And Tara, if they did not have a lot of people that they were survived by, how it lists in the obituary, how many people you're survived, I love it, a husband and, 4 brothers and, blah, blah. Well, if there weren't very many people listed, she would go to the funeral home in the middle of the night and visit the body.
Why in the middle of the night?
Because that's the only time she has time. You know how the woman is. She's got like a million things to do. So
that is so creepy. I hate that.
So she would go up to the funeral home like 11:30 at night and like talk to them.
What?
Talk to the
fact that you chose to marry into this family, I will never understand.
We are surrounded by crazy people.
Wow, that is a whole new level. That is a whole new level.
That would she missed
going
her
during
call. Business
hours or to the funeral. That would be like okay, like weird, but cool. But to go in the middle of the night where you need a key,
yes.
No.
She would call like I think in the beginning she would call the funeral home director and he would meet her down there, and then eventually he was just like here weirdo, here's a key.
Gosh.
So she would go down and visit these people.
I love me some Big Deb, but that is a lot even for me. That's a lot.
Yeah,
too much. That is too much right there.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that funeral homes get haunted, or you think it's kind of just like a door? Since we both believe in ghosts, do you think it's just kind of a pit stop?
I think it's a pit stop. I don't think that's where anybody wants to hang out.
I could see that.
Like they're gonna, if you do believe in ghosts, I think they're gonna want to go back to some place that's more meaningful to them.
Right. Okay.
Childhood house, hotel. why are there so many hotels that are haunted?
I don't know. A lot of hotels.
There is a hotel in one of the, and I cannot recall the name of it, but there's a hotel in Oklahoma City, and it's a very, very nice hotel. In fact, it's one of the nicest, and that's where when professional teams come to town to play, that's where they always stay because it's the nicest one.
Right.
And these are, I guess it would be the NBA teams. But there are players that are like, I'm staying at the Hampton Inn down the street. Like, I don't want to
go in there. I'm the same.
Because
I'm not doing that.
It is so haunted.
With haunted houses, like the ones that people put on that you buy tickets to go see, The only thing I like about those is when people will post the pictures
Yes.
of the people like freaked out. That is the only thing I like about them. You could not get me inside of one. There's not a number in the world.
Well,
And I'm easily bought, so that's saying a lot.
yes, but honestly, you have a problem not wetting your pants
Yes.
on the regular
Yeah,
basis.
just
So,
living my normal life.
living your normal life.
Mhm.
So imagine what would happen if you actually went to a haunted house.
Yeah, no way. I couldn't make it. I think I would literally black out or have a heart attack.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And, you know, some of them are like multiple floors.
Yeah.
And so you have to make it through, you know.
Nope. It could be just, they could be like, hey, there's literally nobody in here. It's
It
just a dark building and
just
we're going to
walks
play
straight.
some creepy music every so often, not even the whole time. I'd be like, ah! Like I would be bawling, crying.
We
You
are
could
such
not get me
wimps.
inside. Yeah.
We are such.
There's no shame. I am not going.
Yeah.
So because we are such big wimps, I want to ask you, would you rather haunted house edition?
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather go into a haunted house? And I'm not talking about one I just described. I'm talking about
Full on.
full on haunted house.
professional-
Professional. Yeah. Or have tax season double in length.
Ooh, that is a good one. I probably would muster up the courage.
No,
Yes.
you would.
I probably would because okay. So what's the average time you're in one of those professional haunted houses? Is it an
I think
hour?
like 30 minutes to
30
an
minutes.
hour.
30 minutes to an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could close my eyes and army crawl. Like just and like I mean, I'm sure I would bump into some stuff, but just like army crawl, eyes
Okay,
closed.
that would take you like 6 hours.
but my eyes would be closed, and I would be like, and I, you know, so I could, yes, I think I could do it if those were my two options.
Okay, but what if you couldn't close your eyes? You had to just go along like every other normal human who goes into one.
Oh, I would try.
You would? You
I
would
would
rather?
try.
You
I
would give it a
rather-
go?
I would give it.
Okay.
I would give it a go.
All right, I love it.
Okay, so you drive all the time.
I do.
Okay, like constantly.
Right.
Would you rather go through a haunted house
Uh-huh.
or sit in standstill traffic for 4 hours?
Standstill traffic. All day.
Without question?
Without question.
You would just rather just sit there and
100%. That's kind of a bad one though, because I'm in the car so often that like traffic almost doesn't even affect me. It annoys me, but I'm just like, it's just part of my life now. So that's kind of
4
an
hours
easy
would
one
be
for me.
Murder.
Nah, I'm good with that. 4 hours? No worries. That's like 4 podcasts. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, I have another one. Also, I hope yours get a little bit better because I thought mine were pretty good. Okay, are you ready for this one? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you rather go into a haunted house or have lunch with your ex-wife every day for a year?
Okay, but the problem is you're so far over. You're not giving like anything that would even entice me to not go through the haunted house.
Are you serious?
Honestly, that would be, yes. You are giving me such nuclear options that also the latter would be the same as going through the haunted house. So
Two haunted
either
houses.
way, I'm in
Which
a
would
haunted
you
house,
rather go
or
through?
At least the one would just be a one hour setting.
Okay. What about one lunch?
Oh yeah, I could suffer through one lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, I could suffer through one.
Okay.
Okay, would you rather go through a haunted house
Okay.
or take B back to swim lessons?
Oh my God. Oh.
Just for the record, B did not enjoy swim lessons.
Yeah. Also, some might say be at swim lessons is a haunted house. Maybe not for me, but for the instructor and Hubba who was in the water with her. I think he might argue that was
That was
haunted
enough
house.
of.
Well, I think I would rather go back to swim lessons.
Really?
I think so.
Mainly because you're not the one in the water and you're not the one instructing.
Yeah. I can honestly, just off the top of my head, cannot think of something I would rather not do than go to a haunted house.
Okay.
I'm scared.
How
But wait, it's my turn.
Oh,
It's my
that's
turn. Okay. So we've talked about the banana and how much she hates having her picture taken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you rather go into a haunted house or have to take and post 2 pictures of the banana every day.
With or without consent?
Some could be with consent, some could be without consent, but every day you need 2 pictures, full body pictures.
Here's the problem. You're really punishing yourself with this because no picture gets posted of the banana until after you have had 30 minutes to an hour of...
She's going to kill you for saying that.
Of professional editing that is not necessary. Really, honestly, if she's just sent you a photo, you waited 30 minutes and sent it right back to her, she'd be like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
like,
I'll put an Instagram filter on it and be like, it's all fixed. Like, this is still your face, woman.
She is the worst with photos.
She's crazy. All right, which one?
With your assistance, I would rather try to do the picture thing.
Okay. All right. So the haunted house has finally met its match for you. Okay.
People, it's a big thing. Like, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing for sure. Okay. Would you rather?
Mm-hmm.
And did you finish Turn last night?
Yes, I did. I'm really sad about it.
So I was going to say, would you rather go through the haunted house? Because you had like three or 4 episodes left, or not finish Turn?
Ooh. Well,
because you love a binge watch situation.
I do. Well, honestly, and actually the fact that I finished Turn was going to be my I hate that later. But probably I would choose to not finish Turn because I already know how it ends up. Okay. I live in America.
Okay, y'all, this is so funny. So I'm talking to Tara on the phone the other day. Actually, yeah, it was just you and I on the phone.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that you had like,
three or four
episodes, and you're like, I am like so on the edge of my seat. Like I'm just like dying to know what happens. She's like, but I live in America. I know what happens.
Yeah, I know we won that war.
And I'm still like,
yeah, it is such a good show. But so only because I know how it all shakes up, that's probably, I'm not going in a haunted house.
Okay. What if, let me give you one more.
Okay.
Would you rather go in a haunted house or give up Netflix?
Haunted house.
You would?
Yeah, because a haunted house probably won't kill me, but not living without Netflix.
That would. Yeah. Not being able to binge. So that's where you could. I think
giving up Netflix and books probably would be
the 2 things that you would.
I would. I mean, I'd probably be dead, so it wouldn't matter. I'm not going to be watching Netflix or reading anyway because I would have a heart attack. But yeah, you got me.
So, Tara, I think it's safe to say we don't like to be afraid.
We do not. Especially by things we can control.
Yes. Because there's a lot of things that we can't control.
That also scare us.
Yes.
Right.
But isn't it crazy that it is things that are both logical fears and completely irrational fears?
Yeah. It's like realistic thing to be afraid of, completely unrealistic thing to be afraid of.
Right. Yes. But we give them equal. We
love them
footing.
Equally. Yes.
We embrace them equally.
Equal opportunity podcast.
This is what my therapist is like. This is what we have to work on. Like,
which I cannot wait to tell everyone this announcement.
Yes.
About said therapist.
Yes.
Do you want to share that now?
Okay. In a upcoming episode.
Yes.
We do not have a date yet as far as when it will air. But actually, my therapist, Dr. Aaron Brown.
That's right.
Will be joining the podcast for an interview session.
Right.
Where we can talk about mental health awareness and all that. So you can look for that date, hopefully coming soon.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm very excited to meet him, and I'm pretty sure he's very excited to meet me as well.
Well, but the thing is, like, he really already knows you.
Right.
Because he, has both seen The Banana and I. Right. So, I mean, like, it's not going to be like he's not going to really need to ask a lot of probing questions about you.
He's going to know me well.
He's going to know most of the details. So, what is like your biggest fear, do you think? Like, what do you think like keeps you up at night? Like, what is
realistic thing that keeps me up at night, or unrealistic?
Any fear? And you can tell us if you think it's a realistic fear or not a realistic fear.
Sure. So anything happening to B is my biggest fear.
Okay. Yes. And I think that is shared commonly by
every single parent who has ever existed. Yeah. Yes. So I'll tell y'all a story. When B was a new baby, she slept in a bassinet next to my bed.
Right.
As I thought was normal procedure for a newborn baby.
Mhm.
So I'm asleep, and all of a sudden I wake up from a dead sleep. I sit straight up in my bed. Have I ever told you this story before?
This story does not sound familiar, no.
Okay, I sit straight up. I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
I look over at her bassinet, and my pillow had fallen off the bed.
I have never heard this story.
Onto the bassinet.
So it's just like, so it's like on her or just on top of
Okay, so the bassinet was narrow enough that it had caught the pillow, so it actually wasn't laying on top of her.
It was like a lid.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was air, on the sides of it. Yeah. But the vision of seeing the pillow when all you read about as a new mom is all the ways your baby is going to suffocate when they're brand new.
Correct.
Was the most shocking, fearful experience of my life. And so now my daughter is 2 years old, sleeps in her own room, in her own bed.
Right.
I will lay awake at night thinking about what if a pillow falls through the roof of her room, lands over her face, she suffocates.
Right.
I'm like, why is there a hole in the ceiling? Why would a pillow fall through? Why wouldn't she just move it off of her face?
Right.
But because this one thing happened one time,
right.
I will just lay in bed at night thinking about that. And I'm not sure, is that realistic? Is that unrealistic? I don't know.
Well, I think it's realistic that, you worry about something that happened to your child. I mean, my oldest broke both bones in his leg. Like, so you do. I mean, I think there's things that can happen,
Right.
And your only prayer is, hey, let them, scrape their knee, not break their arm.
Sure. Yeah.
Stuff's going to happen to them. Whatever.
Right.
But can I tell you a funny, I swear, my mother is getting so much play today.
She is. She's going to be writing in for royalty.
Yes. Okay.
The answer is no, Anne.
Okay. So my sister and my mother went on a trip one time, and my sister is a big traveler, but she will travel in a very inexpensive way because she travels so much. So she keeps the cost down. They flew out to California. My sister had a continuing education deal, and then they were going to go up to the Redwood Forest.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother is probably 65 at this point, 67. So no, she was younger than that, maybe like 60.
Is this relevant to the story?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not relevant. My snores very loudly. Now, my mother's she's a tiny person, but you would think there was a grizzly bear like in the room next to you. My sister, so they stay at a hostel. And if those of you who are not familiar with the hostel, it's effectively like a dorm.
You're the lucky ones.
Effectively just a large room. It's like a barracks. There's just like lots of twin beds. And there's not there's all these people in one room, or this particular one. My sister swears she woke up in the middle of the night to someone approaching my mother with a pillow.
Oh my gosh. Because of her snoring?
Because she was snoring so
loud. Staying at a hospital, you don't get to get mad about snoring. Like if no one's murdering you, that's a 5-star rating at the hostel. So your sister woke up from a dead asleep to save your mother from
my mother from similar story.
Yeah, similar. Not quite, but kind of. So another fear I have.
Okay.
And I would say this one is realistic.
Uh-huh.
So in the morning after I've on the rare occasion that I have gone out with friends, not you and Banana because then this wouldn't apply, but friends of equal means to myself where we all pay for our own shit. The next day, opening up my Chase app on my phone, and I'm like, please God, please God, please God, please God. And, and then just having to see all the mistakes that I had made. Yeah. I'm also pretty fearful of that.
You know what else you would be fearful of?
What?
Credit card roulette.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would put down a gift card and be like, sorry guys, guess I got declined.
This is it. This is all I've got.
One time.
Ma'am, your Blockbuster card is not accepted.
Yeah, she's this is a half off coupon.
This is a free app with a dinner entree.
Yeah.
We already took that off for you, ma'am.
One time Hubba did that at a bar when we were all there. Okay, first of all, this fool has not had a job since I've known him.
Yes.
And the panic in my face. I would have reached across and bit the server's hand off before she would have got back with that card. No. Hashtag the poor friend.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we've talked about my realistic versus unrealistic fears. It's kind of a blurry line for me in all of them. But what about you?
It is. So, I have some I will agree with you, kid-related fear, I think. And from what I hear from even like my mom and whatever, like that doesn't ever go away. Like you're always like
worried about them.
Here's my legitimate fear.
Okay.
Bad haircut. I
can understand why that would be your fear.
There have only been 4 people in my life that have cut my hair.
That's weird.
And I fear getting a bad haircut. Like, it gives me a lot of panic, a lot of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
But what is so crazy is, do you know how often I get my hair cut?
How often?
I get my hair cut at least every 3 weeks. That is how fast my hair grows.
Really?
So why would I be so anxious about a bad haircut if it's going to grow out in 3 weeks anyway?
Yeah.
So the banana gets her haircut like twice a year. It's like a semi-annual haircut. Okay. And I get my haircut every 3 weeks.
Wow. That is really dramatic of you. That's super high maintenance.
So then on a more real note, I mean, that is a real fear though. It really is.
Okay.
Probably my biggest fear is not being able to provide for my family.
Oh yeah. That's a scary one.
That's so scary. And we're in different circumstances right now because both the banana and I work, and so but like in your situation right now, you're the breadwinner while I was in school and all that. And so I can only imagine that you feel that pressure even higher.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for reminding me about that. Won't be sleeping tonight.
Well, at least you could start binge watching something else while
but
with your crippling anxiety.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear that one loudly. That one hits me in the soul.
Yeah.
Speaking of things hitting me in the soul, in our podcast text that we're in,
our group text,
yes. Knowing kind of our topic today, the banana sent a meme to us and it said, I say no worries a lot for a person that is full of worry. And that is so
You do
true.
say that.
I say no worries in response to everything.
And then go worry about it.
But then I'm going to worry about it. Yeah. So I was like, that's really good.
That is a picture into the soul.
Yes. It really is. Yeah.
Yes. Looping back to the beginning of the show when we talked about our mental health number and things that affect our mental health number and, kind of the awareness of that. Here's another thing that's really interesting. We use in today's society, we use the term stress. Okay. Stress is a badge of honor. Like, I'm just so stressed at work. It's like it's a sign of success.
Exactly.
Stress equals success. Like that's that's how it's portrayed.
Sure.
But if you really peel back the deal, stress is fear.
Absolutely.
And, it's, well, I'm stressed at work. Well, what does that mean? That means I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job. Right. Or I'm afraid I'm not going to perform at work. Or
I'm going to let someone down.
Right. Or, like, that's how that equates.
Yes.
And I think it is so important for us to recognize and be aware of that, to say, you know what? Odds are none of these things that I'm afraid of are going to happen.
Right.
But that's much easier said than done. And we fully recognize that.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that means you've got to go talk to somebody about it and say, hey, I'm, to get some tools to figure out, okay, this is how I can handle stress better, because we live in a very stressful time.
Yes.
Whether
definitely.
it's, and it really doesn't matter what phase you're in. The stresses may be different.
Right. They're going to evolve.
But they're still going to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the things that should scare you in life, they should be haunted houses. They should be scary movies.
Yes.
You shouldn't be worrying about things that's not a normal way to live your life.
Right.
You don't have to live like that.
Right.
So if you catch yourself worrying about things that you can't control, go talk to someone. Go get some help, because life is scary enough without having to make up issues to worry about.
Yes. That you 100% accurate.
Yeah. So that's Halloween for us, y'all. We live it every day. We don't need a holiday.
Live it every day. So, Tara, even though this show has been full of all of the things related to Halloween that we hate.
Yeah, we hate it all.
It is now the official time for your favorite segment.
I hate that.
So this week, what are you hating in addition to Halloween on the horizon?
Okay, so this isn't actually something that happened this week. It happened a while back.
Okay.
But in the spirit of Halloween and the fact that we've established we hate being scared.
Right.
I'm going to tell a little story about a time that my dad scared myself and my entire family to the point where I'm not sure if my mom talked to him for a few days after. So we used to live in when I lived with my parents, they lived in a 2-story house.
Okay.
And my bedroom door and my window were directly in front of each other.
Okay.
And so whenever a breeze would come through my window, the door would, slam or whatever.
Yeah.
So one night I'm upstairs with my brother. We're supposed to be going to bed. And I have 2 brothers, one that's 5 years younger, one that's 10 years younger.
Yeah.
So the baby was born already. My mom, dad, and the baby are downstairs.
So you were young at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So if he was just born, I was probably 10 years old.
10 years old. Okay.
Yeah. And my other little brother, 5 years old.
Okay.
So we're, supposed to be going to bed upstairs, and I'm sure the wind came through the window and slammed the door.
Right.
But it scared Reagan and I to death.
Yeah.
Like, we were terrified. So we run downstairs, we're crying. We're like, somebody's upstairs. And so my dad's like, I'll go check it out.
Okay.
So he walks up the stairs, and we're in the living room with my mom.
Right.
And all of a sudden we hear my dad go, ah, and like a bang, like his body hit the wall. My mom was like, run.
Oh my God.
So we go out the back door. My mom is pulling my 5-year-old brother over the fence, to the neighbor's house.
Oh my gosh.
Handing the 5-year-old her newborn baby over this fence. I had hurdled our front gate to try to get to the neighbor's house. I'm ringing the doorbell, to call 911. And my dad walks in the backyard. He's like, where is everybody? Like, he was just pranking us. But Reagan's crying, my 5-year-old brother. I'm crying. Gosh. My mom is pissed. So mad. And he was like, I was just joking around. My dad is a big jokester.
Yes.
Like, he is a big jokester. Yes. But he had crossed the line this time.
This one was a prank fail.
Yeah, this was a prank fail.
This is a prank fail.
So, and then he walks out. He's like, did Tara hurdle that gate? Like, I mean, it wasn't blowing in the wind, nothing. Like, I was like, no shoes on, I will save a life. You can count on me.
Fear is a strong motivator.
Yeah, and then over the neighbor's fence in the backyard, there's my 5-year-old brother holding this little baby, like, somebody's killing my dad. Oh, my mom was mad.
Oh. Well, you see, like, along the lines of you hurdling this gate, like, you see people, like, when they get, like, these superhuman strength, like, lifts cars
adrenaline
off of people. That was where you were. So you were adrenaline hurdling the gate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so bad.
I hate that memory. It still scares me, and I'm sure my dad is gonna hate that we're talking about it because my mom's gonna be mad at him again. Yeah. So sorry, Dad.
It's like, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, he's like, I'm never gonna quit apologizing for this.
So the apple does not fall far from the tree. So your father will be proud to know that his daughter is carrying on his legacy 20 years later of pranks gone awry.
Pranks gone wrong.
So we had engaged a guy to do the podcast artwork. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it was taking longer than it should have.
Yes.
And Tara is nothing if not impatient.
I'm extremely impatient.
Also, sometimes you will get texts from Tara with no, like... what do you call it? Not like background, but no context. You just get like these random texts. So I get a random text from her that says, that's a shame that Eric died.
Yep.
That's all it said. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible now. That's why this is taking so long.
Yeah, Matt's like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for, thinking all these thoughts about this taking so long. Like, I'm a horrible person. And I'm seeing all these texts come through, and I was like, I'm just going to let this go for a minute. Like, it seems weirder now to say I was joking. Like,
so she's in it. So she's just like, well, I guess at some point he'll figure this out.
Yeah.
This isn't
when we get an email from the beyond. So I was just messing around.
So your father will be happy to know that the apple does not fall far from the tree, and you're continuing his legacy.
Yeah, and I wasn't even trying to prank. I was just being sarcastic about the fact that this was taking forever. And the only plausible explanation would be that he was dead.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but Matt's reaction was everything.
It was.
All right, y'all. That is going to bring us to the end of our... I'm not even going to try to say the title of it. You want to hit it one more time, Matt?
Dia de los Scaredy Cats.
Yes, that is going to bring us to the end of that. I grew up in El Paso and can't say it. So. You know how well I did at Spanish class.
Just remember, we might sound shallow, but the depth is real.
And don't forget to check us out on Instagram at Deeply Shallow Podcast.
And like Deeply Shallow Podcast on Facebook.
Hey, Tara, we've really enjoyed our podcast experience, but I think we would both agree that creating and launching a podcast is way more than just recording content. We had no idea how much technology could help or hurt a podcast. I mean, we could be spending hours on editing, audio quality, uploading to a hosting service, just to name a few.
Totally agree. We interviewed several companies and couldn't be happier with Riley and his team at Podigy. Their skills, passion, and professionalism have proven to be the best partners for us.
Yeah, that's podigy.co, Podigy.co. Right now, they're offering 25% off first month services for new podcasters.